Hey guys, welcome back. Hope everyone's having a good Memorial Day. I'm here today just to give you some Earth duels. This is a duel series featuring this mono Earth deck that I've been working on. It has kind of like a little niche combo and stuff. I don't think I pull it off until the end. And I guess when I give you guys the deck profile later this week, I'll share it with you and I'll go over it, of course. But how's everyone doing? Hope you're having a great Memorial Day weekend. This is kind of just something to get us by. I wanted to make sure I got you guys something to show you this week. I will be announcing the contest. I want to thank all the new subscribers, all my new subscribers. So welcome, and yeah, thanks for joining us. We just broke 300. We're getting a few more every day, so that's great. I will announce the contest, the 300 subs giveaway on Friday, hopefully, or at least by the weekend for sure. Sometime this weekend. And with that being said, let's get right into it. This first duel is going to be me versus another mono Earth, so it's kind of like a mirror match. They have a lot of similarities and stuff like that, but again, mine has like a little niche. And I know a lot of people have done this, and like I think it's best added into the mono Earth engine because it has a lot of ways to immobilize my opponents. And there's also Shantoto, which for me is just like, it's kind of like, it's a reset button. But I was talking to Andy the other day, and he was telling me that I should probably consider the Opus 4 Shantoto, the one that like deals damage to everybody. I think he has a point, so I'm definitely going to try that before I share the deck with you. Or maybe I'll share the deck with you first, and then I'll tell you about it. But yeah, so this is the first duel. Here you go, handshake, and we're going to get right into it now. So like I was saying, I'm testing out playing mono Earth right now. One of the main reasons why is because I feel like mono Earth it's just everywhere right now, and I have this philosophy that if you want to be able to beat something properly, the best way to understand how to beat something is to learn how it works. And so with that, I've started to play mono Earth so I can understand how to beat mono Earth, if that makes any sense. If that makes sense to anyone, actually. So this was like a philosophy I had a long time ago when I was playing Street Fighter, and we were playing a lot of video games. And one of the main characters I'd had problems getting over with fighting is Guile from Street Fighter, and so I learned how to play Guile in order to. I wasn't very good with him, but I learned how he worked and stuff like that. So I understood his mechanics from the inside, and that's how I was able to counter him playing Honda and stuff like that. So again, I've been fighting against a lot of mono Earth lately at locals, and so now that I'm seeing it more often, like a stronger version anyway, at least like based on the ones that have been topping at major events, with the Star Sybil coming out and the SciComm Warriors or whatever, it's showing a lot more presence, and it's becoming a little more difficult to deal with. I don't think I faced any mono Earth at Boston. So yeah, that happened, and I fought Earth Wind variants, not mono Earth, and so they didn't play they weren't doing all that stuff yet, all the busy, big important plays that people were fond of right now. But so I have been testing. Oh, I did mention to you guys I was testing Water Earth, and that was okay for a while. But the main thing that I wanted to talk about that was that I feel like Earth has this swarming ability, and you'll see here that I just played Yang Ursula, and between the Yang Ursula combo and the SciComm Warrior combo, like the SciComm Warrior Swarm, I guess is what I like to call it, because like you search one, like on turn 3. See right here, had I gone the SciComm Warrior, I could have pitched one, tap one to get SciComm, search the other one, pitch one, tap one to get the other one, and then search the last one. And I feel like that's 2 7Ks on turn 3 is pretty good. And so with this swarming aspect that Earth has lately, I feel like Gipple is a wonderful card that people should really start considering again. Now I don't see it as often as I think I should in some of these decks. Maybe even the one of or the. I'm playing 2 in this deck, and the reason I'm only playing 2 is because minor is a thing, and I've found myself just pitching the Gibbles, and if I have the board presence already, I won't pitch it. But if I don't have the board presence yet, I'll just pitch it, and if I know I have the minor, Miner will usually get it for me when I need it. And so, what to me, the state that Earth is in, I feel like Gibble is the card that's gonna help push those games from late game to mid game wins. And the reason I say that is because what Gibble does is that it forces your opponent to either, especially in a situation where they're already losing. Like, for the most part, see, right now I have 2 9Ks, and then my opponent's he's gonna block and he'll give me one. But sometimes when I have two 9Ks with Brave here, even because of Momodi in this case, you know, they're not gonna want to lose forwards because of their because they're just gonna fall behind. They're gonna fall further behind. And so what's gonna end up happening is that I'm gonna sneak in 2 or 3 points of damage, and then what Gibble's gonna do is force my opponent to block everyone, and it's very unlikely that I'll lose my forwards because everyone is going to be between 10 to 14 or 15k even. Once I have, for example, Anna Cross or even what's his name, Ingus, the new Warrior of Light, giving everyone that 1,000 power is going to be a big deal. And here my opponent, brings out the New Yang, which is also very annoying. I know you guys can't see his backups right now. We do fix that a little bit later. This was it was a bad day to set up. There was a lot of people at locals. This is us playing at our local shop. We didn't have enough people for a tournament, so we just recorded. So I wanted to make sure I record some duels to have some new footage for you guys as well. But yeah, so as you can see, the board, Earth has this board building presence, and a lot of, and one of the things that I think they do best is, like I said, is that they can swarm, and the other thing is overpower everyone, and that's I guess one of the downsides to Earth I feel would be it might take a little longer, but it might be a little slow to do these things. But again, with Miner and Star Sybil, all that stuff, that I feel like Earth's changed their tempo. It's shifted a little bit anyway from what it used to be. But going back to Gibble is going to be the card that helps you push for game, and it's going to cause your opponent to either just lose or lose their advantage, whatever close advantage they had. And what's going to happen is they're going to have to block everyone because they're not going to lose, and then they're going to hope to draw something, but it's not necessarily what's going to work out for them. And giving people Brave is also another thing that's going to help you sneak points of damage. Some people always talk about I can't even remember her name right now. But unblockables, and being able to get points of damage under your opponent's nose or whatever, like Kobleroid and stuff like that. But giving people Brave is another way to steal points, because it's all right, well, I'm not going to be able to punish him this turn, so I have to let him go through. And that's just, I feel like Earth has a lot of strengths in that nature. And so here I have, so Yang and Ursula are at 11k. So this is what I'm talking about. See, if I Gibble right now, that puts them at 15. And I'm checking my graveyard because I'm thinking, all right, so I can play the Mog to search the Gibble, or I can just, because I know I have one Gibble left in deck. And I can't remember what's in my hand at this point, but yeah. So I have the Raban too. That's another reason I'm playing this deck, because having Ingus and Emma Cross on board is another way to keep Raban alive without having to use extra things like Cockatrice or Monk in this case. But yeah, so this duel's gonna go on for a little bit. I'm gonna chime in every now and then for this duel series. By the way, guys, I don't want to take up, I don't want to talk too much. Really, it's just sometimes I think no one really listens. But yeah, I'm gonna chime in on certain plays from here on out, and just I guess enjoy the duels. I hope you like them. If you guys want, like I said, if you want to know more about this deck, I will be sharing it with you later this week, along with the contest, because we did hit 300 subs, and I'm very happy about that. So thank you guys, and I'll check back with you in a little bit. So yeah, that last one didn't work out for me, guys, as you can see, or as you saw anyway. But that Zodiark play, I don't know why I wasn't expecting it. I guess I didn't see any signs of the Dark engine. Like I see, I didn't see the Star Sybil or whatever. Because if not, I would have expected it a little bit more, and I might have played it a little differently. But you know, if you knew everyone was playing, you know, then you'd always win, right? But whatever. But you know, if you saw towards the end of that, I was able to try to hold him off a little bit with the Yang and Ursula thing again. That's what I was saying, that like Earth has that ability to recover from board states and like, you know, from like losing a whole board state. And you know, whatever. I might have lost that one, but it was worth it. It was good. I learned a lot about, you know, stuff. And here we're playing Mono Lightning. This Duel series is to show you guys how these decks do against different matchups, and it's very important to learn all your matchups, you know, before going to tournaments and stuff like that. So Miner's such a great opening play. Like, you know, I just like it a lot. And like I said, Miner sets up for later plays too, and it's a really good card. And like I'm seeing that now while I'm playing this. So yeah, there it was just I blocked to the best of my ability there. There was a lot of things that I could have done better throughout this little duel, I think. But next turn, like I said here, was going to be the Gibble play. Right there, I was going to force him, but sometimes you don't get that extra turn, like like we talked about. But oh well, it happens. Not upset about it. Next is going to be the Mono Water matchup, guys. I think this one should go in my favor. I forget, but I'll let you guys stick around and find out. Alright, so here is one of the cards I wanted to talk to you guys about as well, Flandit. Now, I know I don't see this enough, but the reason I put it in here is because it's supposed to help throughout the duel, especially against the ice matchup. But one of the main reasons I put in, I'm playing double Flanded in this deck, and Flanded is a real good way to sneak CP out of your opponent. And what I mean by that is sometimes when you're attacking, they have your opponent will leave some backups activated, right? And that leads me to believe that usually, not always, of course, but that usually leads me to believe that they are going to that they have something in their hand, like a summon or something like that, right? Or they're ready to activate an effect, any special effects on the board or whatever like that. And that means that sometimes they've calculated their CP, so they have just enough to do that play. And what Flandit does for me anyway, or at least the way I feel that he's best utilized, is you want to remove some of those CP from the equation, especially on the later duels when your opponent's top decking or they're behind, because what's happening here is you're going to put them in a position where they've had to use all their backups, maybe tap a card or pitch a card for their CP and summon their forwards, but then that forward is just like out of the way. So even in this case with Ashe on the board, you see that like I can just tap it. Yeah, she'll get buffed, but she can't block, or she won't be able to attack, for example, unless they pay it. Now, again, so it can be used both ways. Like if I can do it on my opponent's turn, and I want them to force their CP, or they're not even going to get an attack off. If your opponent is handless, like sometimes later in the game, like I said, when they're top decking, they would have already used up their resources to bring out their forwards or make their play, and that also helps you be like, okay, so now I'm safe. You're not going to be able to attack. It's also another way for Earth to remove forwards, kind of like Fire does and says, oh, you can't block and stuff like that, or this and that cannot block. And so that's just a way it's another way of control, and I think Earth has that aspect too. You'll watch this duel a little bit. Like I kind of go over, like I kind of use it a lot. I kind of force my opponent to play into it in this one. Again, I forget if I win this one, but I'll let you guys find out. And this is just, oh yeah, I forgot I was doing this. So that was the deck that a buddy of ours was using, and he kind of just quit playing. So I was trying to see if I could harvest anything. But he won't trade me the Genesis, so I'll see if I can get it from him later. See, right there, I had to, right there, I used it on my opponent, and he's like, oh, okay. He ends up paying the CP anyway. But that means, again, you can't see it, but he doesn't have anything active. He has all his backups are, used up. So now I know he has less likely of a chance to play his summons. And I see the True Lane there in the grave, so I know what it costs to pay his summons anyway. And so there's a lot of ways you can use it. If you guys haven't tested with it, I would suggest you guys do give it a go. See how many different options you have. Like I said, using it on their turn to attack, or using it on your turn before you enter battle to see if how many points of damage you're going to be able to get in. And then you can also use it during battle, to force them not to block, before you do anything. Does that make sense? Again, there's a lot of ways to, at which point you can use it. You can also, dictate who you want to leave active and who you don't on your opponent's turn. So you not necessarily, if they're smart enough, they won't attack. They'll see the same things you see, and they won't attack with the people you want to leave active or whatever like that. But there's just, the combinations are great, like how many times you can do it, and that's really why I wanted to talk about them. All right, guys. So you saw I got that win, and I'm sure some of you are wondering how I did that, and I'm gonna catch myself now before anybody points it out to me. But yeah, so I realized that I Hekaton sheared a 2-cost backup, and I know I can't do that now. Well, I guess I've always known that I couldn't do that, but I was thinking, the only thing I was thinking at the time was that I needed to get rid of the CP he had, the active CP he had before I played the Flandit. And that was the right mentality to think, but I guess I didn't realize, or at least I forgot, I don't know, it could have been a handful of things really, that I can't pop 2-cost backups, because if I could, then it'd be easier, right? That card would be ridiculously played more often, I believe. But anyway, that's the idea, and I'm sure you guys saw all those plays too, how I made Onion Knight Brave, and then I was able to send him out, make him deal 2 points, or attack twice, deal 2 points of damage, or break forward and then deal another point of damage. And that was the little niche that I was talking about with this deck. I'll go over it again, like I said, in another video, but the main thing is that you have to understand that Onion Knight can bring himself out with his effect, and as long as he's brave, he can attack, bounce back on the same battle phase, and still like attack because he has haste. And the reason I decided to put it in Earth was because this is the deck that has the most cards to keep things brave, as well as goes wide. The games usually go long enough for me to have enough backup to do a play like this, and it also has board clears. So the way I see it is that I can Shantoto, and then pretty much in that same turn, if I have the hand or the CP value for it, I can summon Onion Knight, give him Brave with Momori, and if I have Monk or anything else, I can usually get 2 or 3 points of damage in at once. Because I cleared my opponent's field, or his stuff's out of the way. And I know it doesn't necessarily work with the Gipple thing per se, but that's one of the plays I did. And as you saw against the water deck, I had the Psychom Warrior as well as Onion Knight and Gipple, and I made them strong enough for me to be able to take out his forwards and stuff like that. But that's just the kind of things that I think Gipple's going to be very helpful with. But yeah, like I said, I'll go over all those combos later in the deck profile. And this is against Fire Earth with the 7 package. So yeah, this will probably be it. I'll let you guys watch this one. I hope I don't make any mistakes, but if I do, I'm sure you guys will call me out on them. I will catch you guys later in the week. Remember, I have the deck profile this week and the giveaway, the contest, of course. Can't forget that. And if you guys don't know, if you guys want to get a sneak peek to what we're going to be giving away, make sure to go back and listen to our podcast from last week. Andy Carmona mentions that he'll generously donate a very nice card for the giveaway. So make sure you guys are there for that. And yeah, I will catch you guys later.
You